Hello friends, and welcome back to another video, and potentially the final video regarding pre-release coverage of the Three Houses DLC. The release is only a week away at this point, and with that in mind, I'm sure many of you are asking yourself the age-old question, should I buy this? To help you answer that question, I'm going to provide a summary of all the paid elements of the DLC that we have received thus far, as well as a quick recap of all the waves. Before I get into that, however, I want to announce that I will be doing a giveaway, and 3 lucky winners will be receiving free download codes for the DLC, so check the description below for more details. Of course, this is only possible due to the sponsor of this video. You voted for it, so here it is. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is an extremely popular and well-known free-to-play game that can be played both on mobile or on PC. Like with Fire Emblem, this is a turn-based RPG done right that incorporates elements of strategy where you can build an army of up to 400 champions and trust no one as you journey through the epic dark fantasy world of Teleria. All of these champions are available to collect in this game and fully customizable with unique upgradable armor and skill sets. Raid Shadow Legends also has a plethora of modes that you can play, such as a massive player versus enemy story campaign, a player versus player arena, and a clan system where you can join your fellow players online. You can also find me in-game as Link King 7. Click on the links in the description to get your free 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player campaign as you start your journey in this new world. And now, back to our video. To keep it simple, I'm going to only include paid DLC content in this review, as everyone gets the free updates regardless, so it shouldn't factor into your decision making for whether or not you should purchase this. Let's start with the smallest wave, Wave 1. The first wave of the DLC was made available right at launch, and it was a very simple costume update for Byleth where you could run around with the officer's outfit. This is a nice little touch if you want to change the default outfit for your main character, but not a major deal maker or breaker in my opinion. About 6 weeks after launch, we got our second wave of DLC. This patch was infamous for adding the maddening difficulty for free, but it was also responsible for a lot of mini content updates for people with the expansion pass. The first and most revolutionary for this wave were the cosmetic updates. We got the addition of the house loungewear outfits, which took the internet by storm with people posting sports-related Three Houses memes, but we also got the glasses accessory for Byleth as well. In addition to the cosmetics, we also got a new soundtrack, Corridor of the Tempest, as well as 5 DLC auxiliary battle maps. These maps are actually more impactful than people may have realized. Not only do they have higher leveled enemies for you to really boost and level up your characters through battling, but each map also has a guaranteed 1 stat boosting item per map that you can receive as an enemy drop. Not all of the stat boosters are available pre-time skip, but once you get past that part, all of the maps will unlock for you to use. This could potentially really let you power up your units to new heights if you make use of them. And I guess while we're on the topic of stat boosters, this wave also added some permanent boosters that you can get right out the gate on each file you start. You can get the Sacred Galewind Shoes, which give movement +2, the Sacred Floral Robe, which gives HP +7, the Sacred Snowmelt Drop, which gives Strength +3, and the Sacred Moonstone, which gives Speed +3. In terms of my verdict on Wave 2, these were some great additions. But even with all this, it's still a nice but not really that necessary. Though let's be real, those stat boosters are mighty nice if you want to create your own monstrosity of a unit and let you really boost movement with those shoes, especially for infantry. On November 8th, nearly 2 months after Wave 2, a major update in terms of Wave 3 arrived. This one was different to the prior two as we saw the first addition of new characters as well as new supports. Yaritza and his supports were added in the game for free if you play the Crimson Flower route, but a topic of much controversy and disappointment awaited us expansion pass folks. Anna was the unit who was added as part of the DLC, and man was she underwhelming. Aside from her growths not being amazing, she kinda just got plopped in the game and existed. No supports, no real character development, nothing. Granted, as part of the DLC we also got her paralogue, as well as a chain of side quests that involve her and unlocking her, while also referencing the Abyss, which is the next part of the DLC. This wave also brought over another massive wave of cosmetic outfits and an update for them that I think might have been one of the best things they've ever done. We were now allowed to choose which outfits we wanted to wear in battle. You can choose a character's canon outfit or even DLC outfits on almost every class. I believe this only applies to infantry classes though, unfortunately. This update was also where we saw the sauna was added, and much to the dismay of many, myself included, it did not come with the fan service portion that many of us either would have liked or lied about not wanting. However, the sauna did give you an additional way to motivate your students that does not entirely rely on food, as well as an overall extra activity to participate in. And last but not least, we got the ability to play with the animals in the monastery. Although it was nothing big, it was a nice touch. I already have a much more detailed video covering and showing all the minute details of Wave 3 already, so I won't go much further in depth here than this brief list. If you want to see it all in detail and being played out, feel free to click on the little title card at the top of your screen. Overall, I believe this was easily the best wave of the DLC so far, and this is where I start to consider the DLC summing up to inch towards worth it status. However, I do want to preface that at this point, all of the paid updates have been things that are nice to have, but generally do not impact your gameplay enough to really give you a different experience with this game. Personally, I generally like to judge my purchases overall with a $1 per hour rule, and if the DLC were to end here, I don't think that I would get my money's worth, if I'm being totally honest. I did use the features, and I had a decent amount of fun with them, however, so take it how you will until here. Thankfully, this is not the end, and we have Wave 4 coming next to consider as well. As of now, Wave 4 is still not out yet, but with the amount of information we have already, I believe it is enough to come to a decision of whether or not this DLC is going to be worth it. As you guys probably already know, I have extensively covered Wave 4 each time new information has been available, so I'll leave all the links in the description below for you to explore at your own leisure, as not to artificially elongate this video with information we already have. I will, however, provide a quick overview of what to expect and a quick take on it, so here we go. Wave 4 has always been the main deciding factor for the DLC, ever since it was first revealed. The promise of new characters, new classes, and an entire new story mode just in and of itself provides an amount of content and quality that all three waves before cannot compete with. We already know that the new story mode is going to be a separate game mode that is related to but does not directly impact the main story mode. Though, you will see some changes in the monastery in your main files as you progress through the Abyss. You will also be able to recruit the new characters into your main save files and use their classes. Abyss will have a set roster of characters, and as per some new information revealed the other day, they will have set classes as well as set abilities that you cannot change. It seems like the gameplay is going to be more gimmicky and structured, more in line with some of the older Fire Emblem games, and provides a different environment from what Three Houses has given us so far. This alone makes me consider it a worthy investment, as it seems like it has been carefully created to be different enough to really alter the experience that we've had so far, at least from a gameplay perspective. One of the major critiques with Three Houses was the map objectives, and if we are getting more variety on that end, this will be a big win for me. Not only that, but with some of the teasers that are introduced, and the fact that the story seems to touch on the characters who had previously had their crests lost to history, it looks like we may get some loose ends tied up that were left open in the main story. I also expect this DLC to probably be the same length or slightly shorter than the length of the pre-time skip campaign, at least in terms of the number of chapters that are played. Whether or not we have the gameplay bloated with monastery activities remains to be seen, as we know there will be new activities to do, but we don't know how extensive or time-consuming they will be. All in all, Wave 4 to me so far seems to really seal the deal for the DLC being worth the purchase. But I can't be 100% sure, as the story length, depth, and character development additions are things that we know nothing about yet. So if, even after all this, you are still unsure as to the quality of the product you are going to get, then I'd recommend waiting to see what the final product looks like before making your purchase. I personally bought the DLC quite early on in the lifespan of the game because I was convinced with the quality of the base game that we got and decided to support it further. I'll be playing the DLC when it releases and keep you all informed as to what my final opinions are along the way, so make sure to subscribe to keep up with all the content that is coming soon to you. I hope this helped you get a clearer sense of whether or not this is something you'd like to purchase, and as always, I shall see you all in another video very soon. Peace.